Thank you for coming to the Straight From Me with Bryan Garner podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications button. Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 7 of the Straight From Me with Bryan Garner podcast. You can reach me on the following social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram. I'm now on Parler and YouTube. Just search Straight From Me. And on Twitter, I'm at Straight From Me 1. You can listen to me on most of your favorite podcast providers. If you're having issues finding me, go to bgarnproductions.com. That's BGARN Productions.com. On your mobile device, go to the drop down on the upper left and click to find out where. If you're on your PC, go. The link is at the very top. And I'm also trying to sell a little bit of merchandise on the website. Just a few items, some clothing and coffee mugs right now. Just check it out on the website. You can also donate if you'd like by going to the website and under the Help Our Cause, click Donate Now. On this show, we'll take a look at world and national news, and I will offer my opinion on what's going on in the world today. So sit back and let's go. In national news, we're still traveling down that slippery slope here. These Antifa idiots are still protesting and occupying a small piece of Seattle, while the mayor and governor, both Democrats, do nothing to stop it. Let me say this again. These people are removing statues of people that were actually ending slavery and apartheid, which is what these people are supposedly fighting for. Pelosi was actually calling for the removal of Confederate statues at the Capitol. She said they represented hate and racism and needed to come down. The only problem was that she must not have realized that the statues were mostly, if not all, supporters of the Democrat Party. Why has it become such a hot-button issue now? Some of these statues have been up for well over 100 years, and they had no problem with it then. It's just a gaslighting technique that they're using. These are obviously, like I said, Democrat political stunts. And look, the question is, what exactly does this do to help with the murder of black men by police officers? That is what they said all this was supposedly about. My question is, what does it do? Here's the answer. It does nothing for those men. It does, however, lead to an attempt to change or rewrite history. All of this is happening in Democrat-run cities from the mayor on up in each of these cities. These things are being pushed by Democrats because they are dead set in their hatred for Donald Trump and dead set on winning the freaking election. Democrats tried unsuccessfully to win the election. They tried to own the court system. That failed. They tried the impeachment hoax. They got the impeachment passed in the Democrat-led House, but Trump was, of course, acquitted in the Senate, therefore still in office. They're pushing to keep the coronavirus in the news, trying to keep America shut down because that would in turn keep the economy struggling. Now they pounce on this horrible, horrible murder, pushing the false narrative of President Trump as a racist, and they're still trying to defund the police. Senate Democrats blocked a Republican bill for police reform. They wouldn't even vote to discuss it. That was led by the defunding police gaslighter Senate Democrat and VP nominee hopeful Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. Even though the president signed an executive order on police reform, the Senate and House are trying to pass their own versions of reform to do more. Like I said in previous podcasts, you cannot give in to this unruliness and breaking of the law. We have to push back now. This has moved way beyond George Floyd and the others murdered by police, and now has moved into trying to rewrite history. Does Hitler ring a bell? The reason I say this is that it's moved way past the murders of black men by police officers is now the Black Lives Matter movement has moved into blaming the government for their oppression, but then blaming the government for not getting them jobs. They chastise you for saying all lives matter instead of just Black Lives Matter by saying that all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, which is an odd statement to me, and I'll tell you why. If you want people to take you seriously with this movement, then you can't alienate yourself by skin color and then go out there trying to push your agenda against alienating yourself because of the skin color. Meaning that you're separating yourself from everyone else while you're pushing for people not to separate you from everyone else based on your skin color. Look, I'm not foolish. I know there is still racism out there, but it's not anywhere near as rampant as it was in the pre-1960s. This brings me to my next point. The new key word for Democrats is systemic racism. They're pushing that with the everything that happens is racist narrative because they want to hold on to the 85% vote they have from African Americans. They usually vote Democrat. Those like Kamala Harris, AOC, and Cory Booker are pushing this narrative. I'll say this once again, like I said last podcast, and it's this. I'm telling you right now, if you're a conservative, you need to take the time to get to know who is on your ballot. There's only about 125 days left until the election. You need to get to know everybody all the way down to your local legislation, your mayors, city council, local judges, all the way up to the House and Senate, and of course the president. There needs to be a concerted effort to squash the Democrats all the way out, which I know won't happen all the way out, but we need to get it as close to all the way out as we can. If these last few years have shown anything, it's that the Democrats' hatred for Trump, they will do anything to try and stop him and gain back political power, because that's something it's all about with Democrats. It's political power. Which, if that happens, all the work that Trump has done to this point, will be lost. And here's a big something we need to really, really work on doing. You need to get a reliable news source. I'm not just talking about listening to Fox News, because a lot of times they go too far with their reports also. Do the research. Don't have your opinion just given to you. Ask questions. An example would be if I see something on CNN or MSNBC or Mother Jones or whatever, I hear the same thing on Fox or The Blaze or whatever, I will do the research and go to any neutral-leaning site to see what they say. Then I'll form my own opinion based on all those reports through research, and I'll let it be known that way. Then I will form my own opinion based on those reports through research. Have more than one media outlet. Don't just get your news from Facebook and Twitter. I would love to be your one-stop shop for news, but don't just rely on me because I'm honest and I will tell you what I think. Form your own opinion. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. Like I said, you can listen to me on all social media platforms. I'm now on Parler, Facebook, YouTube. Search Straight From Me. On Twitter, I'm still there, at Straight From Me 1. I'm available on all your podcast providers. If you have any trouble, go to bgarnproductions.com. BGARN Productions.com. Thank you for listening, and until next time,